All right. So, what dancing taught me about men. So, the first off, let me get my background together. First off, I got all this stuff in the background. Let me move it. Okay. So, um first thing, okay, first thing that stripping taught me about men. Men are not picky. They're not. Men are not picky. They're not picky at all. They get on the internet and like they claim that they like have all of these standards and like there's, women who are the wifey type, women who are for recreational use only. Men literally only care about you sleeping with them. That's like the first thing that they care about. And if they're like really, really in dire need of like getting that need met, when they're really, really in dire need of getting that need fulfilled, they don't care who it's coming from. Hey, y'all, I'm on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. So I'm like, you know, doing both. I need to get a webcam. I have a webcam, but it's back home. Um, but anyway, just came from a video of a guy complaining about his girl not cooking for him. I have people pleasing tendencies, so it's hard. So it's sometimes hard for me to be mean to men. Um, but anyway, so thank you, Chels Bells. So that's the first thing that they taught me, okay, that I learned from them dancing. They're not that picky. I literally danced with girls who would shoot up, okay, and men would have no problem paying money to be with these women. They'd have no problem paying to be with these women. I literally danced with a girl. I don't know how true it is. I don't know. I wasn't working that day, but supposedly a condom like fell out of her. this this addict that worked at the club. These men did not care. Like these men generally did not care. But that's because they were in like dire need. They were in dire need. So then that's another thing too. No, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Um, so that's the first thing, okay? The second thing is that men, they're looking for like a certain feeling that you give them. So like they're looking for you to make them feel a certain way. I remember it was one guy that I was like dating like briefly or whatever, and it definitely wasn't going to work out between us because we both have really strong personalities, and I don't like being with men that have a strong personality because it clashes just way too much. I have to be with someone that's like more reserved, more like soft spoken, you know what I mean, because it's just too much clashing. But I remember like he had told me, he was like, I don't like the way that you make me feel. And he pretty much said like, he pretty much told me like, you don't make me feel the way my family feels, and so like it's not gonna like work out. And a lot of like men in the club, a lot of men in the club, they're looking for you to give them a specific feeling in order for them to give you money. And so when we were like talking to these customers, we're talking to these men, really we're talking to them to try to figure out what is he missing? What is he looking for? What is it that what feeling is he searching for? So this is why like older men will want to be with like younger women because they like the youth, they like the beauty, they like the fact that, it makes them feel powerful that they're with someone younger, that they are with someone that can they could like dominate over. Or the fact that they are with someone younger because it makes them feel, you know what I mean, like young again. Or maybe if it's like more of a like submissive man, maybe he wants to maybe he wants to feel like, I don't know, someone's coddling him kind of like mommy, you know what I mean? So men are always searching for a feeling, okay? They want you to have them like have a certain feeling. Also, another thing that I learned, The men will give you the money. Men will give you the money as long as you make them feel a certain type of way, number one. And then number two, if you look a certain way. So like for instance, there was one guy that used to always come in our club. He was not my regular. Okay. He wasn't my regular. He was this older, overweight white man. And he used to always come in. And he would only come in for this specific girl. Okay. She was this white girl, super thin, tiny, like super, super petite white girl. And he used to only get dances like from this girl. And like he does not like black girls. He doesn't do any dances with any black girls. Well, one day, one day that guy wasn't, or that girl wasn't working. She wasn't working that day. And so he came, he came on ahead and he came into the club still. And so that day I was like, you want to know what? I know that he typically only, gives money to like white girls, and it's usually specifically this white girl who's not working. But I was like, you know what? I want to try my hand at this, and I want to see if I can get him to give me money. You know what I mean? I want to see if I can get him to spend money on me. And so I was having conversation with him, and I was able to kind of like get enough information from him to understand the fact that like, okay, he's older, he's fat, he's not getting a whole lot of attention. And so I was just complimenting him. I was just like, like, I love how you come in the club and like you come in very like dressed up, like you have on like a nice button up, you have on like a very you look very like conservative coming in. I like the way that you dress, because we would get some customers who, like, I swear to God, they just left the mechanic shop and they want to touch all over you and shit. And so it really was a genuine compliment. But I could tell that like that's what he was looking for. He was looking for like a certain feeling that I was giving him. He wanted to feel valid. He wanted validation from me, even though I wasn't the type that he actually liked. And so, because I was able to validate him, and because I was able to give him that feeling that he was like looking for and what he was yearning for, he ended up spending money on me. He did. He actually ended up spending money on me, and I'm the complete opposite of how that other woman looks. So this is also why men are always like cheating, and this is always why men will always have like multiple suitors, because there's always some like void, like there's always some void that they're trying to feel. There's always some feeling that they're trying to chase after. So like once men get married, the like family man side of them, they're like, okay, I tapped into the family man side of me. You know what I mean? I get to portray myself as like this family man, this God fearing man, this man who is just so loving of his family, this man who is just this upright person, you know what I mean? And so then there'll still be like a part of him or a side of him where he is just like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a side of him that like he cannot get from the marriage. There's a feeling that he cannot stimulate from like the marriage. And this also goes into like the Madonna horror complex, but I'm trying to stay on subject. And so what he will do is he'll like go get an S worker or something, or go get this woman who's the complete opposite of you, because you don't tap into that feeling, like how it makes him feel. You don't tap into that part of him that he is trying to like get feeling for. And also make sure you guys like the live, please. Like the live, share the live, please. I appreciate it. The likes are free, so please make sure you like the live. And so they're always going to be searching like for these specific types of feelings. So if they want the feeling of like they're nurturing, like from their mommy, or maybe they want the feeling of like dominating over someone, or maybe they want the feeling where they're being dominated. And so men will search for multiple women that can like give them like this certain type of like feeling, you know what I mean? And this is why, like, when people are married and there's cheating going on, and they'll be like, well, you don't make me feel important, or you don't make me feel appreciated, or you don't make me feel like a man. Yeah, men are heavily reliant on women. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, LeBlanc Couture. Thank you. And so they're heavily reliant on women's validation. They're heavily reliant on women affirming their self-esteem, affirming their sense of purpose. And so they'll go to as many women as they can to get all of these feelings felt. You know what I'm saying? Even if the wife does everything to please or fulfill his desire, they still want. Exactly. Thank you, T. How did you learn the nature of man? I'm trying to always learn things like this. It's because I worked in the club. I worked in the club. So essentially, men pay no matter what, not unless he is in his feminine energy. Yeah. Like, they, like, honestly, when the men want it bad enough, like, that's the thing. When the men want something bad enough, nothing is going to stop them. Nothing is going to stop them. This is why, if you're going to deal with men, you should never do. The way that you win the game with men is to never do something that you're not okay with, to never do things that you are not okay with continuing to do in the future. So, like, if you're trying to be with a man and you're trying to lead with like cooking and cleaning and all that type of stuff, okay, be prepared to have a life where you are cooking and cleaning and like leading in with all of this stuff. Never do anything more than what you want to do. You should only want to do the things that you want to do. And so women will stay in these relationships way longer than they need to because they have like this sunk cost fallacy, because they realize like, shit, I've been doing all of this stuff and like I really don't even want to do it. Don't do anything you don't want to do. Is it gonna like most likely make the is gonna make the pool of men smaller? Of course it is. But I've never been with a man, I've never had a boyfriend who expected me to cook, expected me to clean, expected me to do his laundry, because like right off the bat, I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. I don't want to do any of that. And so the men that I've dealt with, they've never had that expectation of me to like cook and clean and do all this stuff. And like usually even when I try to be nice and like offer just to like see, they'll be like, no, it's fine. Like I know how to cook, I know how to clean, I know how to do my laundry. It's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when a man really likes you, he not going to care about that. He going to be like, that's fine. I wasn't expecting for you to do it anyway. You know what I mean? I've dealt with men who they outsource that stuff. You know what I mean? They drop their clothes off at the laundromat. They have a food delivery service that delivers, prepped meals already. They have hired someone that's cleaning up their house. So, you win the game when you are with someone and you're not doing anything more than what you want to do, and you're getting what you want out, and you're getting what you want. That's the thing too. Women are always dating. Women are always like, okay, I like him and he likes me, and that's enough. Like women are just looking for a man to like them, and a man liking you is not enough, because he may not always like you. You know what I mean? It might come a day where he don't like you anymore. Then what are you going to do? You have to deal with men, and you have to know what you want to get out of them. You have to know what you're looking for. Y'all will date these men and have no intent. You'll have no intention. You'll have no goal. You'll have no purpose as to why you're dealing with a man. I'm sorry, a lot of y'all will deal with men just because you want someone to tell you pretty. You can literally just hold up a mirror to yourself and be like, I'm pretty. You know what I mean? Your family probably calls you pretty. Your siblings probably call you pretty. Your coworkers probably call you pretty. Like children probably call you pretty. Men compliment anything and everything. Like getting with men just for validation is stupid. Like if a man wants sex that bad, he's gonna tell a 500-pound woman she's pretty. Like they're gonna tell someone extremely unattractive that they're pretty because they want something from that person. So it's like you can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, like I wanna be with a man to make me feel special and make me feel pretty and make me feel this. That is worthless. That's something that you really should be doing on your own. You should be facilitating that in yourself, not from not from another person. Sovereign woman, I don't know if you're still in here, but what are we doing if they ban TikTok? I mean, I'm on YouTube, but God, I'm like, come on. Here's the thing. Yeah, I'm on YouTube too. I am. I'm on YouTube too. The only thing that I'm gonna miss about TikTok once they ban it is that it's just way more international. It's just way more international interaction here. Go follow me on YouTube. I'm starting a Patreon too. Actually, I've already created my Patreon, but I'm adding more content to it. That way, once it's behind the paywall, they'll have like enough like stuff. But I even made a I made a little ebook for everyone that once I like make my Patreon public, once it's enough content on there, I made like this cute little I made this cute little like ebook for women. So it's like this like male validation tactic ebook to let women like the like five types of like male validation traps that men use to like try to like get women to perform for them. So that way y'all can have a little guide to see if y'all are being played, to see if y'all are being played or not. And I'll probably offer it free for like the first like, I don't know, like 20 like people, like the first like 30 people or something. I'll just give it for free. It's so cute. It's like pink and the logo's cute. It is. It's so freaking cute. It's going to be good. Y'all are going to like it. Yeah, that is one thing about TikTok. I do like the fact that like the algorithm is so specific on here. So there's really like if they the algorithm is so specific on TikTok, it's crazy. Like I feel like they measure it where it's like if you watch more than like 30 seconds of something, it's going to pop up. Like it will pop up on your feed again. That's how sensitive it is. Thank you, Alpha, for sharing the live. I appreciate you. Hi, Denise. If you want to feel loved, love yourself or love an animal. So it's what I'm learning is you got to love yourself because a man cannot give a woman the type of love we want, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to. They're just not, they just ain't capable. And that's cool. Now you know this information. So now that you have this information, you can you can move on with your life and decide what you want to do with your life now. Once you just know and accept male nature, life is so much easier. Like I promised you, life is so much easier. You don't feel burdened. You're much quicker to walk away from like fucked up relationships. Like if they're not giving you what you want, you're just like, okay, well, I'm out of here. You're not over here having to like heal from these relationships and like crying about like, oh, we're not together anymore. He broke my heart and I'm so sad and da 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 da. I saw you on TikTok and jumped on YouTube to get used to watching you on here. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Cause yeah, this YouTube will be all pretty much YouTube will be all that I'm gonna be live on once they ban this shit. I find it so ironic that the ban date for TikTok is the day before the inauguration. Is that like not weird to anything? You automatically turn pretty. My looks changed, less stress. Yeah, people don't a lot of women underestimate how draining it is to deal with men. Like they literally steal your youth, they steal your beauty, they steal your energy. Like it's too much. Aw, thank you. And these earrings, they have like that, they have that post, like the big post. So thankfully these don't weigh my like ears down. Like they don't weigh them down at all. Oh, nice. I needed to start planning my lives in advance on YouTube. Like I realized that I can't like I mean I technically can, but on YouTube you kind of have to go about it different. TikTok, I feel like I don't have to like plan the lives really. But on YouTube I actually have to plan them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to shrink yourself, and you have to shrink yourself with most, especially when you're a woman who's like very accomplished, you're a woman who has like a lot of ambitious goals. A lot of men say that they want that in a woman, and they do want it in a woman, but they want those qualities in a woman because they want to be able to showboat to other men that that's the type of woman that they have. So they want to be able to be like, oh, I have me a book writer, I have a popular content creator, I have a doctor, I have a nurse, I have a whatever type of like professional woman or accomplished woman. They like those aspects of you to like brag to other men to increase their status, um as far as like visibility to other men. But when it comes to you dealing with them one on one, it makes them extremely intimidated. Like behind the scenes, it really bothers them because it makes them jealous and it makes them resent you because they want what you have, and they are trying to figure out how come you have it and they don't have it, because a lot of men have been conditioned, and they've been told that like because they're a man they're like owed all of this. So, like they're owed success, they're owed money, they're owed proximity to women. A lot of them believe that they are entitled to this. So it does like it challenges their masculinity, it challenges their insecurities, it challenges their self-esteem when they see a woman that, has all of these, things, have all of these, qualities, because they want those qualities. You can tell a man you just got a binge truck. Best believe he'll be at the dealership the next day. Facts. Facts. Or if they're jealous, they'll like talk shit. They'll talk shit about like the bins that you got. Like, how'd you get that Benz? What did you do? Get a divorce? And that's another thing that cracks me up too. Men are always thinking that women are getting their money from divorces. Like, what are you talking about? And that's another thing too. Men don't even understand how insufferable that they are, that they believe that women get divorced from them to take their money. It's like, you make like $60,000 a year. What money is there to take? Like, what money is there to take? No, you were left because you were insufferable. You were left because you weren't a good person. You were left because you were a very difficult person to live with, to be around, you know what I mean, to parent children with. But too many, and that's the thing too. I'm quick to tell men that, because women need to break men's ego. Women need to quit protecting men's ego. Thank you. Women do. Women have to be okay tearing down these men's ego. I low key don't know how to go forward with that. Talking to them feels like SH. What's that? SH. How do you cope? I feel like a lot of women underestimate how jealous men can be. Like for real, they really underestimate. Oh, okay. So let me read this again. I low key don't know how to go forward with that. Talking to them feels like S. So then don't talk to them. Like if talking to them makes you feel like that, that's your sign to not talk to them. Don't talk to them. I got my motorcycle license, and my ex went and got a motorcycle before me, real sashy. And here's the thing. I don't mind I don't mind men, I guess, quote unquote, being inspired by me. Be inspired, if you saw me get a motorcycle, or you saw me wanting to get a motorcycle and you get a motorcycle, that's cool. You know what I mean? Do your thing. But give me credit at least. You know what I mean? At least give me credit. Be like, you want to know what? I wanted a motorcycle because you got a motorcycle. What I don't like is it's like, don't sit here and cap and be like, I've been wanting a motorcycle. What are you talking about? I've been wanting a motorcycle. All you have to do is just tell me that I inspired you. Just give me my credit. Just say that I'm an inspiration and you want to be like me. That's it. Just admit that you want to be like me. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We all have people that we aspire to be. We all have inspiration. Yeah, they'll never admit it. Never. Yeah, it's like, why do you want to copy me so much? Get your own identity. But that's the thing, too. Most men don't have a sense of identity. Like, they don't have a core identity. Their identity is pretty much just shaped by the women that they date and then the patriarchy, like whatever patriarchy tells them to do. But that's also, I feel like that's also like a biological origin, too. Because men don't even have as much genetic variation in their chromosome as women do. So that's going to make it a lot that's going to make it a lot harder for them to have more individualism because their basic chromosome their chromosome is basic. Their chromosome is basic as hell. So their identity can only be shaped from the outside. Yeah, men are insanely basic. Like, look at how men dress, look at how men live, look at how men interact with people. It's extremely it's extremely remedial, extremely non-evolved, it's extremely low effort. It's just yeah, it's not impressive. He talks to girl I work with in trying to trigger me. How should I deal with this? Don't let yourself look triggered. Don't give any reaction. Men want to trigger you because men want your reactions. Men get off on your emotions and men get off of your reactions. So for them it's like a confirmation. It's like a confirmation of like how much energy you can give to them because your emotions are a form of energy. And so when you're giving them energy, when you're clearly showing, are you serious? No. Well, they kicked me off the live. So I guess I can only do YouTube right now because they kicked me off. This is why I tell folks, y'all gotta follow me on YouTube because they kicked me off. That's why I keep telling people, y'all gotta follow me on YouTube because I just appealed it, but yeah, this is why I have to go live on here because someone gets mad and then boom, I can't be on here anymore. Yeah, like literally they literally will take like any little thing that someone says. Like I just put in an appeal from it. I just put in appeal. I wonder if they're going to deny it or not. Cuz one time this happened several lives ago, and I appealed it and they let me get right back up there. But that's fine. But this is why I tell everyone, y'all gotta follow me. Y'all gotta follow me on here. They just don't. Men watch my live, and y'all know how that is when y'all get on. Y'all know how that is when y'all get on lives. The lives come up on your For You page and they ask you those questions or whatever. Yeah, someone probably saw I was like giving the tea about men and was like, it's hate speech. It's hate speech. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I've been pushing them to um get on my live. Well, give me a second. I'm just gonna make a quick story really quick on TikTok so that way they can at least talk to me. Y'all, I am on live on YouTube. Go to my bio on TikTok and click subscribe, click YouTube, and then click subscribe. I'm on live now here because they kicked me off because some hater reported my page. So it doesn't look like I'll be able to go live for a week unless they accept my appeal. So please run over to YouTube because I'm going to be live on there. I'm going to be live on here for the next like 30 minutes. So run, don't walk. Bye. But yeah, they be hating on TikTok. Like they didn't approve my appeal. They didn't approve my appeal. I gotta make sure that when I do these YouTube videos that I'm telling people to like click the notification bell. So that way y'all can be notified of me going live on here. Cause how lame. Like how freaking lame. But anyway, not giving that any more attention or energy. But back to what I was saying, just about what dealing with men taught me in the strip club. Also, so working in the strip club also taught me about men are not faithful. Like they're not faithful to their wives at all. And what's even worse is that like the men will. I don't know why they do this. I don't know if they think that it's supposed to like I don't know if they think that it's supposed to make us look at them differently or better. But men were like, Chell's bells, ooh shit. Do you have the notification ring? Like, are you like subscribed to my notifications? Was that how you were able to do that? I'm trying to I'm trying to set this up now that I don't have to do both of these at the same time. So I'm trying to get acclimated here. Okay, this is good. But anyway, the men aren't faithful to their wives. Oh, okay, perfect. I appreciate you, Charles Bells. I appreciate you. But anyway, the men will try to like I guess they must think this is like a selling point with us as women, but they'll be like, my wife is so great. She's so amazing. Like, she's so wonderful. But, and like, they like leave this like big but, and they're like, but, you know, I still feel lonely or I feel abandoned, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, well, that kind of sucks for your wife. Or they'll just straight out tell us how much they like don't like their wife. They don't like being married. They don't like taking care of, they don't like the children being in the picture. The children have ruined everything. And so that was like a reason why I didn't want to get married because I just kind of felt like a lot of the men were like they were being like disrespectful when it came to their wives. And I was like, this is happening like more often than not. And people, when I made a video about that on TikTok, people were like, well, you're in the strip club. Like, what do you expect? What do you expect? But it's like, does their wife know that they're at the strip club? You know what I'm saying? And are they not saying this to women that aren't at the strip club? Because in most cases, they're probably saying these very same things to women that they're just like meeting at the bar, you know what I mean? Or women that they're just meeting out regularly in public, you know what I mean? So it's like, I kind of feel like if you're going to change your body to give a man a baby, if you're going to, if you're going to, you know, sacrifice your time, your energy to be with a man, and like that man is out here telling other women how like you're perfect, but there's one thing that you're not doing. There's one thing that could be better, and he's willing to like spend y'all's money on another woman. I'm just like, well, I don't really see a selling point in getting married then. Like, what's the point? What's the point in doing it? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay on here for another 15 minutes because I am gonna record a video for YouTube and upload it today. But you guys can keep chatting, chatting and writing and stuff. I'm trying to think of what else. I'm trying to think. Oh, another thing that I learned in the club. A lot of men are lonely. Like very, very, very lonely. That was like a large reason why men would come to the club because they were lonely. Like they don't have any friends, you know what I mean? They don't have a girlfriend, they don't have any children, or maybe their children are grown, or maybe they're divorced. But a lot of those men were lonely. And men, it's always a projection when men are telling women that like you're gonna be lonely, you're gonna like die with cats. That's definitely a projection because men, I kid you not, like men are the ones that really, really struggle with loneliness. And this is also why men have so many vices. Like when you're dealing with a man, think of all of the things like of course this could be anyone, but statistically, men are more prone to finding forms of escapism. And so a lonely man is a man that is going to just make or at least a man that feels lonely. He's going to be willing to like make more poor decisions because he's going to find forms of escapism. So it may be, alcohol, it may be substance abuse, it may be gambling, it may be high what was I going to say, like lack of sexual discipline. They might be sleeping with everybody. And so when men are lonely, they're always trying to find a way to fill their void, you know what I mean? And like even like wealthy men, you know what I mean? Just because these men will have like wealth and have money, they're still lonely as hell. Like it was plenty of men in the club who actually had like a decent amount of money, but they still felt extremely lonely despite them like having a lot of money because they just sleep with these women, and then these women don't want to talk to them anymore. You know what I'm saying? These women don't want to engage with them anymore. So then they're just stuck. You know what I'm saying? They're just stuck trying to find whatever they can like grasp onto to like feel something, to get someone to make them feel some way. So yeah, I feel like married women never kept it real either about marriage either. They never do. A lot of women, so for a lot of women, the ring is such a big goal for most women because society has pretty much taught women that you getting married is like the pinnacle of your validation. So when you get married and a man decides to marry you, it means that you've like reached the mountaintop of validation. Like you finally found someone to love you. Like that's what most women are told. And so what happens is that when women get married and then the man is cheating, the man is disrespecting them, the man is just, the dream that they were sold, it's not turning out the way that they thought it was supposed to turn out. And so they have a sense of pride now because they don't want to admit the fact that they were bamboozled. You know what I mean? They don't want to admit the fact that they were lied to. And so what they'll do is they'll talk about their marriage, and they'll talk about their marriage in the most positive way. They'll talk about their marriage in a positive light, and they won't state anything negative because their social credit and their validation is coming from the fact that they're married, even though behind the scenes they're not getting a fraction of the validation that they were told that they were going to get. So it's like it's cognitive dissonance, and it's them trying to protect their ego and their pride that they have around marriage. Because if you talk to a married woman, and a married woman was just like, oh yeah, my husband, he's been cheating on me, for the first 15 he was cheating on me for the first 15 years of my marriage. He left me when I was pregnant. He cheated on me when I was pregnant. If they say that, that means that that woman would have to admit to herself that she was lied to. And most women are not going to admit that to themselves. Most women are not going to want to admit that to themselves, let alone admit that to you. Because then you're going to look at them sideways, and you're going to be like, huh? But I thought that you getting married, like, I thought the husband was supposed to be so great. I thought all of your problems were going to be solved. I thought you were just going to be so happy. You know what I mean? And then you realize, like, that's really not what it was at all. Like, it's really not what they thought it was cracked up to be. This is why I don't ever trust people that don't acknowledge like negative aspects of doing things. There is not a single thing that you're going to do in life where it's just going to be 100% positive. It's going to be 100% great. You know what I mean? Like if you're choosing a decenter man and you're choosing to be single, I mean, of course, you get lonely sometimes. Like, of course, you get lonely sometimes. And then there's people that are married and they're with someone and they still they feel lonely too. You know what I mean? Because the person that they're with is not validating them. The person that they're with giving them is not giving them attention. Thank you for coming over here, Jenny. They kicked me off. TikTok kicked me off. So now I'm in TikTok jail for a week. And the thing about it is that when women are honest, like not even just women, but people, when people aren't honest about the decisions that they're making, it means that they care more about protecting their ego, they care more about protecting their pride, they care more about protecting the perception that other people have of them. They care more about that than they do about you in preventing things from happening to you, or preventing you from getting into unfavorable situations. And so you also have to, um, you know what I mean? You also have to question everything. You know what I mean? That's like a big thing. This is why, like, when you're young, because when you think about it, you're actually conditioned to do this. Because when you're young, and you ask your parents questions, they'll just come up with like any old answer just to get you to shut up and just to get you to quit asking questions. And so that kind of like that trains you and that grooms you to like not be I guess inquisitive, or to be like inquiring about things. And so what happens is that when people start telling you things about like their marriage and like how great it is and how happy it is, how happy they are and how it's the greatest thing ever, you don't ever think to question them. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever think to question them because you've just been groomed to like accept things from face value. You know what I'm saying? Can't believe some a-hole a-hole got my TikTok live taken off. But you want to know what? This is good for me cuz I need to be giving more energy to YouTube. It's just my following isn't as big on here. So it's not nearly as big on here. So it's a little bit annoying. It is, it's a little bit annoying because I'm trying to get people from over there to get over here. So it's a little bit annoying. But it's all good. It'll be all good. What else did the strip club teach me about men? As long as you do you have lemonade? No. I don't. I got that Blue Sky app though. Yeah, it's so annoying. Like one person could just like be mad and like complain about your content and just like get it taken down. It is. It's a sign to work on my YouTube for sure. That's why once I get off of here, I'm going to record. I got my camera right here ready because people in the community tab, they wanted me to do a video on how to level up without a man. So I'm going to record that video today. It did teach that the thing about it too, it did teach me to have confidence. But I already was pretty confident already before I started dancing. But if you one thing it did teach me regarding men, if you look a certain way, men definitely will give you money. Men definitely will pay. When you look a certain way, men don't mind giving you any money. If you look the way that they imagine like a woman that they see themselves with, they'll give you money. They will. They'll give you money. And also the fact that like your confidence does like go a long way. Um you do have to care about your beauty to an extent, but even if you're not like a supermodel, even if you're not a supermodel, as long as you're confident, these men are still they'll still want to give you money. They'll still want to deal with you. Cause I didn't have a good body at all working in the club. I was actually one of like the chunkier girls, but I was one of like the highest earning dancers because I didn't look at myself and be like, because I'm not as skinny as everyone else, I'm not able to make as much money. You know what I mean? Or, you know, I need to be thinner. Did I lose some weight while I was dancing? Yeah, I lost like 10 pounds. And like, did it help me make more money for me losing weight? Absolutely, it did. But, um, I never was like looking at myself as less than because I wasn't as skinny, you know. And then also, you know, we work with all different races of women too. So I wasn't like, oh, because I'm black, like I'm not able to make this much money, you know, or like the white girls are making much more money than me. Like I never was putting myself in like a state of like competition. You know what I'm saying? I was never putting myself in like a state of competition. Yeah, as long as you're confident and you're put together and you just make it known right away and you look like someone that is only going to be there as long as you're spending money, then yes, like they can help you pay your bills. They'll offer to pay your bills. They'll offer to buy you stuff. What I will say though, because I danced 10 years ago. So the men are totally, I don't want to say they're totally different, but the culture around men spending money is different. 10 years ago, men spending money on women was a culture. Like, it wasn't something that was frowned upon. Like, yeah, they had like you were called a trick, but then like what did men do? Men that actually were tricking off on women, what did they do? They like alchemized that and they're like, no, it ain't tricking if you got it. So even the men that were like deemed as tricks, they actually had a rebuttal for like being called a trick. Now they call these men simps when they want to take care of women, and a lot of these men aren't giving enough pushback. You know what I mean? These men are becoming more, they have a higher need of male validation. Like they're getting like more and more soft. And so they really care more now about the opinions of other men. So now when like men are calling other men simps, a lot of men are kind of just like cowering down and like they don't want to wear their simping on their sleeve. But 10 years ago, you call a man a trick and he's like, "But I got it though." You know what I mean? I'm going to take care of my woman. This is also why like older men, it is a little bit easier to get that generosity out of older men because like they still kind of have that conditioning in them still where it's like no, like you should be providing, you know what I mean, you should be giving women money, you know, beauty isn't free. And like that's the thing that women have to realize. Beauty is not free. Beauty is not free. The artwork behind me is beauty. You had to pay for that. You have to pay for art because art is beauty. So when you're a beautiful woman, you're a literal walking piece of art. When you have your hair done, your makeup done, your nails done, you know, when your body's together, whether you like paid for a surgery or whether you're going to the gym and you have your body chiseled, you have your body looking a certain way, you're a walking piece of art. And art is not free. You don't go to art shows and they just give the art away for free. No, you have to pay for that beautiful art. So as a woman, your beauty needs to be compensated. Your beauty and your time needs to be compensated because you're going to go out in public with these men and these men are going to get the most stares that they've ever gotten by people in like 6 months. You know what I mean? They're going to be getting the most attention that they've ever received in the last 6 months. Okay, well, you should be getting compensated for that because you're giving that man status due to his proximity to you based off of your beauty. You know what I'm saying? So your beauty is valuable. And like that's another thing that the strip club taught me. Your beauty is valuable. Why you think the men are there? The men that go to the strip club, the men that get on OF, then those men understand like, okay, the beauty, the conversation, the chance to be close to a woman, this is valuable. That's why it was commodified. You don't commodify something that isn't valuable. If your beauty, if your beauty, what's in between your legs, your conversation, you spending time with the man, if it wasn't valuable, they wouldn't have commodified it. Prostitution is the oldest profession. Prostitution is the oldest profession because men saw women as a commodity. They saw women as the first commodity because they knew that women were of value. Do men really care if your apartment is clean and put together or they don't care? It depends on the man. It does. It depends on the man. I think overall, most men don't really care. You know what I mean? As long as as long as it is relatively clean, you know what I mean? As long as it's not nasty, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a shoebox and a fan on top of a damn, you know what I mean? I have that on top of a damn um like cabinets or whatever. Like no man's gonna be like, why is that shoebox and that fan there? Like it's just there. It's just there. Now, if I had like rotten bananas up there or something, you know what I mean? Then that would be a different story. But as long as you're not nasty, they're not going to care. Like, come on, these are the same species of men who don't even wipe their butt all the way. These are the same species of men who, like, when they're teenage boys, their mothers have to like beg them to take a shower. Mm, 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 mm. All right, I'm going to be on here for like a couple more minutes. So if you guys have any questions, go on ahead and ask them. But yeah, that's really all I have as far as like what dancing in the club taught me about men. Now, regarding women, that's like a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video. I actually have to I'll have to make that I'll probably actually make that a actual YouTube video. Um because yeah, the strip club taught me a lot about women. That's the reason why I don't have really any female friends really. Well, really any friends in general. I have a best friend. I have one best friend, but like as far as like having like a friend group, a girl group, things like that, no thank you. I was with my ex so long that dating now is new to me. So I don't know. So I am asking because some of these men out here, oh my God, girl. I mean, honestly, anyone choosing to date, more power to you. I'm not out in the dating streets. I'm not out in the dating streets. It's too much. It's just too much energy. And my energy right now, I'm pouring it into this. So it's just too much. It's too draining for me. It is. It's too draining for me. And I think dating is definitely a lot harder now than it was in the past. But the reason why is because ignorance is bliss. Like, I don't even think, like, have the men gotten lazier? You know what I mean? For sure. The men have gotten lazier. The men have gotten more stingy. The men have gotten just the quality is definitely lower, but also a large part of that too is the fact that when back in the day women were very ignorant to male nature, you know what I mean, women were not accepting of male nature, and there's still, I mean, probably majority of women, they still don't want to believe male nature. And so a lot of women are putting themselves in these unfavorable situations just because of the simple fact that they want to fit a square into a circle peg. And it's like, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time doing that. You're better off just you're better off just going ahead and just saying like, you know what, this is what it is, and either I accept these men for who they are or I'm just not going to deal with them anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get off of here. All right, I got content to make for you guys. Thank you. um I promise you, I'm gonna make videos about like everything leveling up, whether it's like physical or mental or spiritual or financial. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do all that. I was single for the first time around my long friends and ended friendships because I'm realizing now they are pick me's and thinking it's okay to hang out with guys I'm dating. Yeah, it's not even worth it. Forget it. Forget it. Um, Sonia, I'm gonna do another live stream or at least make a video about that. I promise. I have a lot of content that I'm gonna be creating for you guys. I promise. Um, but I'm gonna get off of here. I am going to get off of here. Thank you all for joining this live. To the people that came from TikTok over here to join my live here, I appreciate you. I hope everyone has a good morning, good afternoon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.